There are moments in games that feel like checkpoints, and then there are moments that feel a little more like mirrors. And this one, I thought might break me. When I stepped into the water temple, I knew what everyone would say about it. The warnings, the reputation, it's basically the place where confidence goes to drown. And I'll be honest with you, and many of you already know this, I don't see myself as a great gamer. I never have. I don't call myself the personality hire gamer for no reason. You can see that on my About Me. So part of me wondered if this was the end of the road for me. Not just for this dungeon though, but for everything that I wanted to do with Zelda. I wanted to make the Zelda lore a part of the channel's history, the journey, and even do a challenge where I played through all of the lore games that I'm currently on now. This was a promise that I had made to myself, but then I met him. Dark Link. He wasn't a monster, not necessarily a villain. Just a reflection. The same movements, the same blade, and same face staring back at me. Almost like the game was asking me, are you ready to fight the part of yourself that knows every fear that you've ever tried to hide? He moved like doubt moves, very quick, precise, and always a half step ahead of where I was at. And then he mocked me. He leapt into my swing, balanced on the tip of my blade, and then flipped away like my efforts meant nothing. And in that moment, something inside me ignited. A thought started looping in my head, steady and unshakable. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Not loudly, not angrily, but with a level of certainty that I hadn't felt in quite a long time. You see, I used to be a competitive powerlifter. There was a version of me that knew how to dig deep and to stand underneath weight and decide it's not going to crush me today. And somewhere along the way, I felt like I had lost that version, that 2.0 version of myself. But standing there blade to blade with my shadow in the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time that I hadn't played in 20 plus years, I realized it wasn't gone. It was sitting there like an old flame, still smoldering, still waiting patiently for me to ignite it. I've played games about being the best, about winning, about mastery, but this wasn't that. This wasn't really about beating Dark Link. This was about refusing to let go of the anxious, broken version of myself that I had allowed to decide how far I was going to go. This was me saying I made it this far and I'm not turning back now. And when Dark Link finally fell, what I felt wasn't just triumph. It was a release. Like setting down a shadow that I'd been carrying around longer than I'd ever realized. Like remembering the light that I didn't even know was there all along. And that's why this moment matters so much to me. Not because it was hard and I overcame it, but because it reminded me of who I am underneath all the doubt that I carried. And that's really the heart of this channel. We don't ever pretend that the shadow isn't there. We step into it. Because when you take the time and you face those shadows, when you really face it, you don't lose your light. You finally learn how to live it, and maybe even share that light with others along the way. Thanks so much for watching. My name is TokiShadow. I actually stream here on YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Central on Tuesdays and Saturdays and every other Thursday at the same time. Currently, I'm on a Zelda Lore Gauntlet quest to complete all the Zelda lore games before the release of the Zelda live-action movie next year. Come and join me for that journey as we attempt to make this a part of the channel's history. I'm sure our community, the MoonWalkers, will be happy to greet you and would love to see you there. I know I will be. So much love, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.